this is Overnight Celebrity. Probably have some music in the background. And we're trying to turn everyone on the show into someone famous. Will it happen? Probably not. Will a couple of us have a chance? I hope so. But, I'm never going to give up on the dream. And I think that's something you're going to find a lot of my guests will have in common. They've been chasing this dream for a while. So right here, we have Joseph
AKA Numotus.
AKA Numotus. And that's interesting right there. Where did you get the name from?
So Numotus, what it means is new movement. I was looking at Latin words, and modus means movement in Latin. And so I just added the new to it. And I thought that was a cool concept because movement is kind of like what creates everything in life. Like when things move, that's what creates time for those things. And so that's what allows us to have all the experiences of life that, we, without that, there's kind of nothing else.
And you mean movement, so.
Yeah.
As in, because that's your DJ name, you're an EDM DJ, so.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with anything with the crowd moving?
I mean, yeah. Like my music is made to move people physically, so make them dance, and then also move them emotionally, so make them, happy, or make them, feel something with the melodies, and then even, move them mentally or spiritually, make them think about their life, make them, try to improve themselves, hopefully, But on a basic level, just make them move, make them dance.
And make them dance. So, how, through your journey of being a DJ, what would you say has been the most you got the crowd moving and dancing?
Probably the best show I played was actually a festival in my hometown where I wasn't even scheduled to play. It was just some of the DJs didn't show up, and then it was Sunday around noon, 1 p.m. And I had been hanging out with the people who were working backstage, and they were like, heck yeah, you're good to go, man. Just go play your tunes. And, there was, at least 30, maybe 50 people out there just jamming out. And that was incredible because I wasn't even really planned. I was just I was ready, but I wasn't even planned. So that was awesome. There's been some other shows that I've played out in LA, but those that was opening. It didn't feel as special as that show, I guess, because I was outside.
Organic,
it
just came together.
Yeah, that's the one that comes to mind.
Okay. And so you have one new album that we're about to talk about that you're dropping. What is the title of that?
The title of the album is A Thin Layer of Ice Upon a Deep Ocean of Chaos.
Okay.
I like long titles.
I like long titles, man. So there's no acronym for that?
Well, it's AT.
Okay, well, there's an acronym for everything, but there's no specific one for that?
Yeah, no, it's just the whole thing.
All right. So, that's a pretty deep, no pun intended, meaning, I feel like. So.
Yeah, I can get into that.
Yeah, what made you choose that in particular? Was there certain songs that...
Actually, it comes from this meme where there's this cute little painting of these polar bears or whatever, and then I think it's called a nihilist meme, where there's a cute picture and then there's some really deep phrase, and it's civilization is a deep or a thin layer of ice upon a deep ocean of chaos. And I like that idea because to me, in the context of the album, it's more the thin layer of ice is kind of our thoughts and our minds and what we believe is the truth, protecting us from this ocean of chaos, which is the real truth, which you can't describe in actual words.
And have you gone through your own ocean of chaos, I would assume?
In a way, yeah. I spend a lot of time thinking about how, my mind actually works so that I can, do more stuff and also just experience more joy in everyday moments, when, normally, those moments would cause us a lot of stress or something like that, I'm able to, find some kind of joy in that just because I've thought about a lot how the brain is supposed to react, or not supposed to, but like how it's programmed to react through evolution. And so, just being like, oh, okay, this is how things are, but I don't need to, go along with that anymore because I'm aware.
So, kind of go through the preconceptions.
Yeah. I try to definitely like stay on my own path. I don't like being a follower of anybody else, and I feel like everybody's got to find their own path because what's right for them isn't going to be the exact same thing that's right for anybody else.
Okay. Interesting. So, do you have a favorite track on this album?
It's probably the first track. Although track 5, Son of Program, is really good too. That one's more like a ballad, and that one, like the lyrics, the message of that, is really cool. It's really, I feel like it's like a broad kind of message. To me, it has a specific meaning, but I tried to make it have a broad message and have like also just like really interesting. It paints a picture with the vocals, the words that I use. And then the first track also kind of does that too. That one's called Vywamus, and
I'm just thinking maybe we should for the next one do the 2.
Just do like
because
like this.
I don't know. Yeah, if you come here for a second, my bad, guys. So your favorite tracks 1 and 5.
Yeah, track 1. Those are both actually singles on the album that are dropping. The track 5 is going to come out October 28th this year, and then track 1 comes out November 4th. The whole album is going to drop on November 11th. And for track 1, that one's
November 11th.
Yeah, November 11th.
And nice. And how can they find you? Is it making a website that?
Just search Numotus on Google.
You want to spell that?
Numotus.
Okay, cool. So be sure to look out for track 1 and 5. Interesting you say that because I always think like when I look at albums, usually the mega hit is either 2 or 3. You ever notice that? Like
those songs I did pick. I did pick like songs that like those aren't the singles, but I did pick songs that I think would be really popular or really or just those are also like, I really do like those songs 2 and 3, which are those are called The Hand That Mocked Them and The Heart That Fed is track 2, and then Spark of Light is track 3. So yeah, I mean, I really tried to make every single track on the album have some sort of meaning, some sort of, some sort of importance.
And this album is interesting for you because I believe you said you had 4 albums already?
Well, let's see.
And those were years ago, though.
Yeah.
But they were done, and it sounded like a close amount of time, right? So it sounded like you did them
in a way
within this gap. Like, if you have, how many did you have?
I think I had 3.
So you had 3, and it was within like a 3-year span.
Yeah. That was more when I was still in high school and college. I had a little bit more time, and I was going by the name Pesmobile for a little while. And so then I switched to Numotus, and I was just releasing singles, and still my music was like kind of a hobby, and I was just like seeing what opportunities I could find to grow it until I reached that point. And I pretty much wasn't like, oh, I should make an album to like boost my popularity or to gain more fans. I just like started making something, and I was like, oh, this sounds like it should be on an album. This shouldn't be a single, and then I made the other tracks for it. So it took me a long time. I mean, I was procrastinating a lot for sure, but
on this one,
yeah. But I definitely was being a perfectionist with it as well. So it wasn't like I was procrastinating. I was working on
And then, of course, why don't you tell us what happened with your hard drive? That was some story.
Oh, well, yeah, my freaking computer. As I was pretty much finishing up the album, my computer got a ransomware virus, and so I wasn't able to actually get all the stems for each track to mix them down the way that I was planning to, and finish them up the way I was planning to. I ended up having to cut 2 tracks from the album, and luckily, though, I still
tell them how much stuff you lost. Go through it.
Oh, I mean, I lost...
At first, go through how you pieced it back together.
Yeah, so I had backups because I had put it on a USB to show my friend, and so I had, the basically almost finished tracks. A few of them were completely finished, and so I just had to kind of...
I'm going to put this in perspective. He's been working on this shit since I moved in. 3 months. I feel like it was much longer, right?
Yeah, it's the first track.
He was talking about putting it out when I first moved.
So. Yeah, late 2018 was when I first had the idea.
He's been working out on this idea. Late 2018.
So
right now, it's still not released, and it's about to be 2022. So almost 5. Or, 4.
About 4 years, yeah.
So he's on this for 4 years. He's about to be done. He's saying he just finished his first track. And then, or his last track, he's about to have it all together after 4 years. You have how many tracks total at that point?
It was supposed to be 15. So now the album has 13 tracks.
So you lost 2 tracks, like you said. You had 15 tracks, boom, and then you got hacked, right?
I got ransomware, yeah.
Ransomware, okay. So for the lame, me, hacked.
Yeah, make sure you guys got backups. That's all I can say.
Yeah, so he had everything done. So when was it supposed to drop initially?
I mean, I didn't pick a release date, but I did want it to come out this summer.
Goal.
Okay. I did want it to come out this summer.
So we got lucky to have him on here before he was famous. See, overnight celebrity, let's go. All right. It just hasn't been that night yet, So, okay, we go, and then just his pace. But he was working. You lost like 50% of your files at least, but you were working on getting shit back. I'm just talking about your
everything on that computer was done. Like stuff that, I had backups, but they weren't updated backups. So I was able to get back, a lot of the music that I had for DJing. I still have 10,000 tracks or so for DJing and just music in general, which I was lucky. I thought I had lost most of that too, but that was on the backup. And all of my video editing stuff, all of my resources, my sample library for making music, I lost that. So, I still have plenty of samples and stuff. They were just not organized anymore. So
are they labeled?
Kind of. I mean, I've been dabbling with making some new stuff lately too, but I've mostly been focusing on creating promo stuff for this album.
So I feel like a lot of us have lost information before. It's just basically, it feels like you lost most of your life, I'm back here now.
It took me almost a whole month to get over that, and then I was like, all right, let's finish this album. Let's just do this.
The depression you're in takes even longer, but you just feel like you're back to, like I said, if I lost shit on my whole phone data from February, I'm like, damn, gotta build that again, gotta do all that. So
yeah, it was pretty bad.
But now we're here, so
yeah, we're here.
Are you a little relieved it's coming out?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm
thin layer of ice over a deep chaotic ocean bubble.
A thin layer of ice upon a deep ocean of chaos.
Upon a deep ocean of chaos. Okay. Upon a deep ocean of chaos. So it's here. And do you want to plug in shamelessly, because I'm asking, your other album titles?
I mean, my other albums, they're under Pesmobile. I mean, if you want, that one's called, it's been so long that I kind of forget. That one's called With Arms for Eyes, and that one's kind of a real experimental one. But the concept is almost the same as this album that I'm putting out now. It's kind of about the evolution of the universe and kind of the ultimate contrast, where a single particle becomes the whole of the universe throughout the entirety of evolution.
Is that an ongoing trend for all your albums, or just those two?
Sort of. Although before that, I was really kind of just discovering my style. and like, you know, I was just making an album where like I thought that was what you did. Like I grew up listening to albums because my dad had so many vinyls, you know, and you know, I kind of just like am not such a big fan of singles, you know, even though that's mostly what gets released these days.
It's hard to have a whole album trend.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like people don't have the attention span to listen to. It seems like, you know, they don't have the whole attention span. But I wanted to still create that. I felt like I could make something cohesive.
As somebody who writes books, because if you can't listen to the album, you're gonna read a 5-hour book.
Yeah, right. Even if it's an audio, even if you're listening to the audio book, you can listen to it. But are you gonna sit there?
Especially trying to get our generation's audience. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like if I was going after the older generation, but like people our age, I would say 35, that 18 to 35 demographic that everybody always talks about. That's one that's hard to keep unless you're just Marvel or like something that's just boom, 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 action.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way. You got to figure out a way to get them on that wave.
I mean, I'm not saying there's no intellectuals that aren't out there who take time, but.
Yeah. I don't like the concept of just like labeling a group of people like, oh, this age group believes a certain way and they will act a certain way, and you're kind of setting your own mind up to just, you know, manifest those things when you're dealing with anyone like that. You meet somebody who's in that age group and you're automatically judging them. And, you know, anybody can be anything. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt most of the time.
Yeah, for the next episode, because we're gonna give you another one, because we're gonna have some of your samples, and we're gonna be able to play some music so we can see what to expect. All right. So back to your old album. So what makes this one different? This one took longer to put out.
Yeah. So this one's more like definitely like just an EDM dubstep, melodic dubstep, kind of trance vibe. The last one that I put out was really like just experimental. It was a mix of like trippy strangeness, and it was less cohesive. You know, this one's more, you know, it adheres to the genre, but it still breaks boundaries. And then the biggest difference really is that I'm singing on almost every track. So I wrote lyrics for almost every track, and I recorded them, and I did the mixing myself. So it didn't come out like amazing, but I still think that it came out better than I expected it to. Like I didn't have to hire anybody else to do it, which is nice. I really like doing as much as I can by myself. Yeah, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I still even if I had paid more to do it myself, in a way, I would still feel better because I was like, well, you know, nobody's gonna be invested in your own project as much as you are, you know. But hopefully, people like it as much as you do, and stuff like that.
And what is your gut telling you? Like, how are you really feeling about this? Like, I'm gonna put this out.
I'm gonna put this out, and then I'm gonna do. You know, I think that people will be interested in it when they hear the clips that I have posted, because I'm gonna do a little bit of like ads on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So people will definitely want to check it out. But I think that this is still just the beginning for the Numotus journey. You know,
I mean, it's the first album under this title, so
it is.
So do you feel like it's a reboot? Like you're like coming back?
I am sort of coming back for sure because you know, in the past 2 or 3 years, I've only released maybe 2 singles a year, and I've released probably like, you know, 20 to 30 singles as Numotus in total. So I was definitely doing a little bit more work in the beginning. And then I kind of did the classic thing that people do when they move out to LA. They chase their dream, they waste their money, and then they got to slow down and get a day job. And, you know, keep working on the dream as much as they can, but they just don't have enough time. And I'm trying to break through again and have even more time to work on the dream, you know?
I think that's what we went over that one day too, like how you should be making money to fulfill your dreams.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have You gotta have
what you wanna
a system set up for your money to work.
That was before your 90 days too, was it?
That was before. So yeah. Most of you probably don't know this, but yeah, I've been taking 90 days sober, and I'm almost done.
Me too.
No, for real. It's CBD.
But yeah. So we're pretty proud of him, 90 days sober. That's what's up. But yeah, so I was telling him that he needs to find a way to spend more time on making money by doing stuff that he needed, because he was working a lot, but he had to. It was tough, but now he's balancing it way better, and I'm proud of him for that. That's all I can really say there. I wish I could remember exactly. We had like a whole piece of paper. Like
my mind is a little more like abstract, so it was a little hard for me to think in kind of like that rational way. And G helped me out.
Going over the finances of the savings, but that's why I wanted to do this too. That's why I'm glad, because I just had him do my album artwork, graphics. Yeah, if you guys need any help with graphics, he can help you out too. He charges $40
an hour. Yeah.
So
I mostly do flyers for shows, book covers, or your like song artwork. But yeah, hit me up.
It's pretty good.
Music@gmail.com.
And you can get them done in a timely fashion for sure.
Absolutely. I'm fast. I can do it in under a day in most cases. And yeah.
So we got that. And so if you had to spend a day, listen to your album the whole time, or listen to your girlfriend talk, which would you do?
Oh snap! I mean, I do love my girlfriend's voice.
Okay.
But like it's the entire day.
Yeah.
I'd probably be sick of both of them by the end of the day.
Okay.
But I see, if my girlfriend's there in the room with me, then I'd pick that, because I want to spend.
No, it's good.
But if it's me talking on the phone with her, that's not the same.
Yep.
So I'll listen to my album.
Really good. Yeah. Good answer. So
good question.
Where do you see yourself going after this Numotus?
So with Numotus, I'm really trying to start booking more shows. Right now I have a show lined up next week. It's October 14th at Social Desert 20. I'm playing at the Planet 69 stage. So if you know about it, come check it out. Basically, planning one of my biggest sets to date. And it's only going to get better from there. As the album grows, I'm going to try to connect with more promoters and stuff, and eventually start throwing my own shows, hopefully, because then I can put other people's talent on, and just make money throwing my own shows. That's the dream.
Okay, so that's the dream. And then as Joseph.
As me, I want to, right now, I have this spreadsheet that does your numerology calculations and everything. So it tells you about your life, tells you about your personality, and the types of experiences that you're going to have that teach you what you're supposed to learn in life. And so I want to develop that into an app that's also like a self-mastery app, and it includes like your astrology readings, and also it has a planner and a journal in it, so you can set your goals and it can guide you towards them as well.
I seen it too. His friend Jeff, and he actually makes money off it. So people have
the spreadsheet right now, it's not too bad. I mean, it's for this, like most websites, they'll charge you like $50 or more just for a numerology reading. And with my spreadsheet, if you just search Divine Triangle Numerology, or I think if you just search numerology spreadsheet on Google, you can find it. I think it's one of the top 2 or 3 results. And like it's less than $50. And if you practice with it, you could set up your own business doing numerology readings for people. So I wanted it to be accessible to everybody, But you know, I also wanted to reflect the work that I put into it.
So yeah,
That
divine
triangle
spreadsheet.
numerology. And so yeah, I'm also working on hopefully becoming like an energy healer, and one of my goals is to eventually open a spiritual retreat where I work with other energy healers, and we have people who can come to the retreat and just get rebalanced, refocused, rejuvenated, and then, you know, go back to their lives, but as refreshed. You know, they're the same person, but they feel like a new person.
Where would you want that to be located? Dream location for you.
Either like North Cali, although I really do want to live on an island somewhere. As an absolute dream location. Like if it was on an island, then we could have a spiritual retreat on an island. We can also do festivals on an island. Yeah, so that would be real epic. Yeah. If that happens, you know, we'll be there. Work at security.
Hey man, come on, interviewing people.
Yeah, interviewing and
Selling the books, you know, whatever. We're gonna do my interview later. I don't know who's gonna interview me, but we'll figure it out. Pick somebody good. I'm about to wrap it up anyway. I'm just gonna go over the last notes right quick. Yeah, I think I pretty much went over everything I wanted to do. Alright. Yeah, this is Overnight Celebrity. We will be back with more guests, and Joseph will be back with samples of his music.
Peace out. Yeah, check out the album when it drops November 11th.